Google Earth, an application that has been at the forefront of compiling satellite imagery in a spherical representation. An application that has done so much to show the world, yet receives so little appreciation. An application that has at the least debunked the theory that the Earth is flat. What has come to be a world viewing experience from the swipe of the screen or the click of a mouse has been anything but simple. In fact, Google Earth has a collection of achievements, the most notable being that it has logged in imagery for over 98% of the world's surface and panoramic street photos for over 10 million miles of roads and passageways. All this for something we can see from our devices. All of this started by a small company of dedicated entrepreneurs. The year is 1999. A time when 3D software was being experimented upon. Having a successful demo of a zoomable spinning globe, intrinsic graphics had an edge in the competition, but they were focused on the gaming world. They, except a small group of people led by John Hanke. They formed Keyhole Inc., a company dedicated to compiling mapping data from multiple sources and making it available to the public for a yearly fee. For the first several years, Keyhole was not doing well, struggling to pay for its employees despite securing deals with some big shots of graphics design, including Sony and Nvidia. That was until the 2003 invasion of Iraq, when CNN broadcast journalist Miles O'Brien extensively used Keyhole to the point that their company could not keep up with the increased demand. By then, the CIA, In-Q-Tel, and NGIA were willing to invest in their company, and to make their fortunes better, the core group of engineers in intrinsic graphics, yes, the company Keyhole split from, wanted to work with them after the failure of their company. By 2004, the Google search engine was exploding with geospatial search results, leading them to the crucial decision of taking over Keyhole. After Google's acquisition of Keyhole, the conglomerate released their first version of Google Earth in mid-2005. It was the simple, standard build used before, but now for free. At that time, users could create their own placemarks and layers through Keyhole Markup Language, or KML files. They could also add photos and videos to the added placemarks. Google took a giant step in 2006 when they added two layers, direct links to Wikipedia and images from Panoramio over placemarks with coordinates. Moreover, users could contribute to both layers through adding information to Project Wikipedia World and panoramic photos of their own to Panoramio. Another giant leap was taken in 2007 when Google Sky was added to the platform, allowing users to explore the overarching cosmos through images taken from the Hubble Space Telescope. By 2009, Google Earth has added Google Mars and Google Moon, giving people a grand tour of what may be colonized in the coming future. In 2008, Google Earth implemented Street View, where they started to add in their own panoramic images of streets and landmarks in certain regions, including UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The update that has been the precursor to the addictive game GeoGuessr has also given rise to the very satisfying flight simulator, which was flexible in its control scheme, using either a mouse or plugged-in joystick. Yet the most important achievement during that year was the Google Earth Outreach Program, adding in direct links to nonprofit organizations such as the WWF and educating many local communities around the world on how they can use the platform to preserve their culture in the face of globalism. 2009, another major year of added capability to the platform. As the years went by, satellite imagery and Landsat imagery from space kept on being updated, with no way to track changes in a location over time. That was until that year, when historical imagery was introduced, letting users explore changes in satellite imagery all the way back to the late 20th century. Google Earth has also added Google Ocean, adding and refining data for the oceans, seas, and deep lakes. But nothing would be as revolutionary as Google Building Maker, letting users combine 3D generated shapes with aerial imagery covering it. It was a huge upgrade from the SketchUp 3D modeling, as it would no longer be necessary to manually decorate the outside of created sculptures. This led to a huge increase in custom generated 3D imagery in many locations around the world. But while there was greatly enhanced accessibility in imagery viewing, there was also controversy. The obvious issue with Google Earth was that it exposed some very sensitive locations, creating a threat to national security or even copyright infringement. The looming threat of violence has led to Google Earth even being blocked in several countries, most notably Iran, Sudan, and Morocco. Other major areas that have been partially censored in Google Earth as per national security have been India, North and South Korea, Israel, Washington DC, and Greece. Onward to the next decade. By the 2010s, the application was available on iOS and Android devices. The number of users has been steadily increasing ever since, with Google Earth being a high-priority free software project. The year also saw the advent of Liquid Galaxy, where computers could be clustered together, running Google Earth at the same time to create a semi-panoramic experience. The best part was that anyone could replicate the setup using the proper guides released by Google themselves. A few more updates here and there, until 2012, when there was a game-changer update to the software. Of course, there was the tour guide, where users can now directly film a video while using the software. Although a major add-on undoubtedly, many people did not care about it too much. What stole the show of that year was that Google Earth would now feature its own auto-generated 3-dimensional photogrammetry imagery for select cities in select countries. The feature that made many, including myself, keep on coming back to the platform. The feature that is still getting updates and new coverage to this day. The feature that can now put Google Earth at a competitive edge with Apple Maps and Nokia Here Maps. By 2015, all 6 habitable continents had some locations in 3D, with the majority being in the United States, then Europe, then Japan. By the year 2017, Google Earth has gone through a massive overhaul, introducing a streamlined version of the software, Google Earth 9, with the main gimmicks being the Voyager and I'm Feeling Lucky die, letting the spinning globe take users to a new location with a knowledge card description of it from Wikipedia. What was even better for desktop users was that Google Earth Pro, the business enhanced version of Google Earth that costed hundreds of dollars a year, was made free for everyone in 2015, expanding the premium capabilities of movie making, data importing, exporting, and precise measurements. There have been multiple other specialized versions of Google Earth, those that have now become unnecessary by that time. But not for some newer versions though. Google Earth claimed a stake in virtual reality in 2016, with Google Earth VR being released on Steam and compatible with some VR headsets. Gamers could finally get an addiction in something much closer to reality than ever before. Businesses have gotten their own share of an upgraded software, with Google Earth Studio being sign-up preview only and letting users employ camera animations in the surroundings, especially within areas of 3D imagery. Boy, that was quite a lot to cover within a span of 20 years. As of now, Google Earth has been moving along slowly with the updates, but there's always a certainty of a major update looming around the corner. Update or no update, Google Earth has never gone below expectations in being a major step in educating the people of the world they live in and what they can do to protect and enrich it.